beats, boy.
Boom! Turn the mic on today. Yeah, with Big Boys Boxing. Live once again. I'm Jono, your host. As usual, get a few things sorted. Have a bit of a rant. Maybe send out some links and get some conversation going. So, let me check my audio. Maybe send out some... Yo, we're all good. Good to see you all in the chat. So over the weekend for the heavyweights, we had a couple of dust ups. Wow. Yeah, we had this one. Oops. Sorry. Kill the intro. Haha. We had this one. Hit Me the Heat Ahio versus the giant Julius Long. Now looking at the picture, that's the guys actually facing off after the weigh-in. That's how much of a height difference there was. Julius Long, 7'1", Hemi Ahio, 6 foot flat. So it was always going to be a bit of a tough ask for Hemi to try and knock this giant out. It ended up going the distance. Unanimous decision. Hemi the Heat Ahio gets the win. I haven't actually seen the fight yet. I'm hoping GladRap channel's going to get it up soon. I couldn't make it to the event even though it was in Auckland. Had a bit going on this weekend, so that's what it is. I'm looking forward to possibly being able to see that fight if GladRap gets it up. I know they were there. So hopefully we're going to get to see it one way or another. Right, what else we got here? We got excuse me, my here we go. We also had this fight here. David Price versus unbeaten prospect Cash Ali, who's actually the Central Area champion in England. There was a lot of shit talk going on, particularly from David Price in this lead up. It was a bit of a change of character for David Price, really, and it was good to see. But Cash Ali was talking shit as well, talking about how many times they've sparred, and David Price had been panicking whenever he got hit, and he was going to knock David Price the fuck out. David Price was pretty much, you're just a mouthy cunt. You're just going to get met with a jab. You got nothing. If you were in my position, you wouldn't even be boxing after what's happened to me, and so on and so forth. It was a bit entertaining. But the fight itself, David Price kept the range, boxed behind his jab, got caught a couple of times with an overhand right, but pretty much out of desperation from Cash Ali. And it got to the point where Cash Ali, when they did tie up, was starting to hit David Price behind the head, and he got a point taken off for it. But when he did get the point taken off, he had actually bitten David Price on the chest. The ref didn't see that, but you could see the welt on David Price's chest, and he clearly stated during the fight, "He fucking bit me! But anyway, the fight continued, and David Price ended up landing a good right hand on Cash Ali, staggered the shit out of him, and he was desperate to try and hang on to David Price. So desperate that as Price was backing up, Cash Ali fell over on top of him, and he was shitting himself pretty much. But when they were on the ground, he bit David Price again, and the ref saw it this time, so he got disqualified. Cash Ali, you're a piece of shit, mate. You're an absolute piece of shit. Looking for a coward's way out. I see an article on Boxing Scene. I haven't actually read it, but the title, what did it say? Let me have a quick look here. Something along the lines of street mentality. Here it is. Cash Ali, street mentality just kicked in. It was stupid, no excuse, is the title on Boxing Scene. So disgusting from Cash Ali. There's a few people mentioned that he should get suspended. I saw another article here. What does this say? Tony Bellew feels Cash Ali should be banned. Investigation looms. Yeah, I think he should cop a ban. You don't do that shit. This is boxing. It ain't the streets. And if you have to resort to biting somebody because you know you're going to get the shit beaten out of you rather than quitting, well, you're even worse of a coward than if you quit. Looking for a way out, and everybody now knows what a piece of shit you are, Cash Ali. I hope to see the dude not get any fights in the near future. Fuck him. Why should he get any fights? He's gonna bite people. I mean, you know, Mike Tyson did some biting against Evander Holyfield, but we all know at that point in time, Mike Tyson was not right in the head. You know, the excuse at the time was Evander Holyfield's using his head, but Mike Tyson was doing the same sort of shit. So, you know, there's no excuse for it. This is boxing. It's not fucking street fighting. If you want to fight on the street, fuck off out there and fight on the street. Stay out of a boxing ring. You don't belong there. Alright, so there were a couple of other fights over the weekend that I watched as well. I even had a bit of a bet on a couple. I had a bet on this Price Ali fight. The odds weren't very good though, so you only made, what was it? David Price was paying $1.30 or something like that for a stoppage. So yeah, make 30 cents on the dollar for that one. Bit shit really, but it is what it is. There was also Anthony Fowler versus the Guy Fitzgerald. That was an upset win. A lot of people didn't give Fitzgerald a chance in that fight, but they'd fought previously, I mean, like 10 years ago in the amateurs, and Anthony Fowler won. But credit to Fitzgerald, he stuck in there. He was having his moments. He was wearing down Anthony Fowler, and he knocked him down in the final round. And it turns out that knockdown gave Fitzgerald the win. Two judges had it 115, 114, and Terry O'Connor had it 118, 110. I couldn't believe how wide that is. I mean, Terry O'Connor's got a bit of a reputation sometimes when it comes to scoring. He tends to give the favourite more rounds than they deserve. I mean, he was the guy when Joseph Parker fought Hughie Fury. He's the one who gave it 118, 110 to Parker, 118, 111 or some crazy ass wide shit score. But yeah, it is what it is. There was also another good fight in the States that I made some money on. Alexander Voshtik versus the... shit, I can't pronounce the dude's name. Ndulu, I think his name is. The odds weren't too great on that fight either, but I picked a stoppage in the first 6 rounds. And sure enough, Ndulu, I thought when I made that bet, I thought it was just a matter of time before Wojtek caught up with this herky-jerky dude who doesn't throw a lot of punches. And for me, it was clear that Wojtek was dominating the fight. And Ndulu injured his leg and couldn't continue. So the stoppage came, but I'm not convinced that the leg injury was legit. So, is what it is. Alright, peeps. I'll get some invites sent out and we'll go from there. So, just give me a sec here. Regulars, if you want to go into your hangouts, I'm just about to drop a link there. Oh, didn't work. Hold on. Go and copy it again. Son of a bitch. Copy. There we go, regulars. There's a link I just dropped in Hangouts. I'll also drop one in the chat here for anyone else who might like to join. Just give me a sec here. Boom, there's one in the chat as well. So anybody who'd like to join, come and chat some boxing, feel free to do so. I see Unrivaled Boxing Talk wanted to get in on it, so you got the link there, brother. And here he is. How are you, man?
I'm not bad, Jono. How's it going?
Not too bad at all, brother. How'd you enjoy this weekend's boxing, mate?
I was over the moon. Over the moon. Oh, first of all, I just want to say that Sky Sports card was a cracking card.
It was pretty good, eh? Fuck yeah.
It was a cracking card. In terms of real competitive fights, that was a cracking card. There were some good fights on there. Like the first fight, Hughes against Davis Jr., or the fight that was, I rewatched it. Very good fight. Scott Fitzgerald and Anthony Fowler, though, man, stole the show.
That was an awesome fight, eh? Yeah.
That was just a real proper boxing match, like a proper fight. Both guys came to it. It was knocked down in the last round. Scott Fitzgerald won me a fuck ton of money.
Shit on. Yeah, because the odds were pretty good on him, eh? No one was giving him a shot.
Man, right before the fight, I didn't know if I was going to do it, but I had enough profit and stuff, so I put 1,200 on him at 5-1.
Shit hot.
There you go. So that's a $6,000 winner, man.
Yeah, there's your next trip to a American Fury fight.
That might be my trip to. That might be my trip to if AJ and Wilder fight.
True that. Yep. True that.
So,
what did you think of the Liam Smith-Eggington fight?
The first couple of rounds were quite competitive, but Beefy's a tough guy. Eggington isn't. Beefy rode out the first couple of rounds and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. I heard a couple of the commentators talking about Eggington being extremely durable, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Sam Eggington is durable. Sam Eggington is the epitome of an egg, you know.
Exactly.
The man is. You literally, you take an egg, you go up to your counter, and you do one of them, and it cracks right open, and you just open it, and put it onto the pan. That's Sam Eggington in an eggshell.
Yeah. Ronald Finkley in the chat. Yes, Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News used to be known as McGregor Boxing Stars. So yeah, it is him. And the Wojtek versus Ndulu fight. What do you think of that one?
The Wojtek and Ndulu fight. I thought Wojtek fought well. He got a good stoppage. I mean, Ndulu wasn't anything like to really write home about. Not exactly the greatest fighter to go around. He touched Vojtik up a few times, and we seen like Vojtik's demeanor like change. But all in all, he did what he was supposed to do, and he got the guy out of there.
Yeah,
nothing important really. Some questions on Vojtik.
That was my money-making fight for the weekend. I picked Vojtik to beat him within 6 rounds, and I was paying $350. So yeah, that was good for me, that fight as well. But
yeah.
There was also the Ray Robinson fight on that card. Pretty controversial finish to that one. A little bit disappointing though from both fighters, I thought. I haven't seen it, man. I just managed to watch the Vojtik fight today because I fell asleep. It was on pretty late. It was like 4 a.m. Yep. So I haven't gotten around to Igis Kavalakis and Ray Robinson yet. Yep. I thought both of them, you could see from Ray Robinson, he was having a bit of it seemed like a bit of a mental block from getting knocked out in his last fight. He was getting in, throwing a punch, and then backing out and not doing anything. Like he was extra cautious. What's the other guy's name? I can't say his name.
Igis Kavalakis.
Kavalakis. Yeah, he was...
Just say Igis.
Igis. That's easier, yeah. He was getting in, throwing a punch, but not following up as well. So, I was quite disappointed in both of their performances, to be honest.
Kavalakis is being touted as a potential opponent to Terence Crawford, man. Like, I've seen him fight a few times. I haven't seen this one yet. He's not good enough to fight Terence Crawford.
Hell no. Nah.
Terence Crawford, it's just another filler fight for Crawford, really. What we all want to see is we want to see the guys at welterweight fight each other. That's what we want to see, really. I don't care who he fights, if it's Spence, Porter, or Thurman. I want to see the champions fight each other. Same with Spence, I want to see him fight the champions,
Yeah. Yeah, that crossing the street issue is huge in the welterweight division. I guess we're probably going to see Thurman versus Spence before we see anything, when Thurman decides he's actually going to fight him. So, I don't know. Do you think we might see Pacquiao versus Spence, or do you think that's just not going to happen?
I don't think it'll happen. I don't think Pacquiao wants to fight. I really think Pacquiao will take the fight against Thurman. I think that's the one he's calling for. I think Thurman's also calling for that fight. I think that's the fight that'll get made. I don't know, though, but I think it'll actually be Pacquiao and Thurman. I'd like to see any of them get a money day against Manny, but I'd rather just see them fight each other. I'd rather see Sean Porter against Errol Spence, or I'd rather see Keith Thurman against Errol Spence. I'd rather see the unification title fights. Amen
to that, man. Amen to that. Just a sec, I've got a... Okay, someone else wants to join. I'll just give them a link and we'll see how we go. Don't know the person.
Who's that?
Tommy Tanner.
Okay.
Here's a link. You've got it now, mate. Feel free to join. Come and talk some boxing. But did you hear about our New Zealand prospect? Hemi Ahio had a win over the weekend. So he's only a 6 foot heavyweight, and he beat Julius Long, who's 7'1".
Julius Long, huh?
Yeah, he's been in and lost to everybody, but I think he's like 44 years old now or something as well. So
I'd put £100 on you to beat Julius Long at this stage, John.
You reckon? I'm shorter than Hemi. I'd need a footstool to reach the dude's
It doesn't
head.
matter about you don't need to reach his head. Just get in on top of his body. He's got nothing, doesn't he? He's a nothing fighter, Julius Long, at this stage. But long story short, he's beating a guy that the Southern Hemisphere beat up on a regular basis. He's the punching bag of the Southern Hemisphere. Like, at this stage, he's the Kevin Johnson. He'd lose to Kevin Johnson. No, that's rude of me to say. Kevin Johnson would beat the shit out of him. But yeah, good win. I not good win, but like doing what he's supposed to do, I guess. I didn't see the fight, but I do want to see Hemi in there with somebody a little bit better than Julius Long. Yeah. How many fights has Hemi had now?
14.
14, and he's fighting Julius Long. Oh.
Yeah, he did have 3 years out almost 3 years out due to promotional issues and shit. So
the usual fuss.
he's kind of building himself back up again. But I'd like to see him get in there with a Sean Turner or somebody like what's that other chubby fat dude, short fat dude from the States, Joey DeWeco.
Joey DeWeco?
Yeah, someone like that.
I love how we both. I love how I knew who you were talking about. Chubby fat dude from America, Joey DeWeco. Oh.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm gonna say this right now. Joey DeWeco would beat Sean Turner.
Yeah,
that's a gimme. Hemi against Joey DeWeco. Are you sure, Jono?
Well, I'd like to see it, man. I think it'd be competitive. I mean,
it'd be a very hard fight for Hemi, and I'd favour DeWeco in that fight.
Yeah, I probably would too.
I'd have to make him favour.
But I'd love to be proved wrong at the same time. You know?
If Hemi went in there and beat Joey DeWeco, it's a very good win.
Yeah, well,
that's a top 35 guy right there in Joey DeWeco.
Yeah, I think Joey's like 6'2", so he'd even be bigger than Hemi as well.
And he's a heavy guy. He's heavy. And he's got hands and he's got a chin.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's actually skilled, isn't he?
He's highly skilled, but
Joey DeWeco can actually box.
He should be a light heavyweight, really, shouldn't he? That's his problem. He's too many donuts.
He pretty much looks like what's his face? He looks like Joe Smith Jr. has been eating pies for the last 9 years.
That's it. Yeah, fucking oath. All good. Alright, so any other fights you'd like to bring up from over the weekend, mate?
Any fights or points? Well, let's go with one of the biggest talking points of the weekend: Cash Ali and David Bruce. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, man. Why not? Let us know your opinion about this.
What? I want to know if you think. Just hear me out on this. That Cash Ali should be charged with sexual assault.
Sexual assault.
He gave David Bruce the hickey on his stomach.
He did. He bit him twice. It wasn't just the once, too. Once the ref missed it the first time while they were standing up, just as he deducted the point for hitting behind the back of the head.
He gave him a hickey on his stomach.
Yeah. Do you think he was looking...
Somebody else just joined.
What's up, guys?
Hey, man. How you going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Not too bad. Nice to have you on. You want to introduce yourself and let everybody know who
Sure, my name is Tommy Tepper.
Yeah.
Big boxing fan.
Awesome.
Where are you from, buddy?
Born in Limerick, grew up in Belfast, live in England.
Awesome. Very cool.
Right.
You want to give us a quick, your quick thoughts on this weekend's fights? Any particular fights that you'd like to mention?
I wanted to talk about Khan vs Bud, but before I want to talk about that, I just wanted to say that David Price did get bit, but realistically, the skin wasn't even broken, and Mike Tyson got 2 bites of both of Holyfield's ears before he got disqualified. So in my eyes, he should have at least got he should have got 2 points taken off when the referee did see it, because that way at least Pricey could have had the chance to knock him out or get knocked out.
Do you think maybe Cash was looking for an easy way out, because it looked like he was going to...
Oh yeah.
I personally would just say the Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield fight, that referee never actually refereed again. He was deemed to be very inefficient, very bad referee because of that. That fight completely tarnished his his legacy.
That was a little guy though,
just because it was nothing to do with the rules. That he completely fucked the rules up. If you bite somebody in the ring, you're immediately disqualified. That's actually written down.
Automatic DQ.
Automatic DQ for biting. Yes, biting is the disqualification.
Okay, fair enough.
We learned something today. Awesome.
Yep,
It was
definitely.
a good day.
Does that include kissing as well?
I would like to assume it would, but actually there's nothing in the rules about kissing, unfortunately.
Pooh leaves off the hook then.
Oh, pull it,
That's
dodge
different.
the bullet.
Funny shit. Alright, we'll just quickly get back to the subject that McGregor started up, or sorry, Unrivaled started up. What were we getting to there?
Call me McGregor, call me Mark, call me whatever.
Alright,
Are you
McGregor's
retired?
Alright,
Am I retired?
so you are.
I'm
Like
too
Connor,
busy
never
doing
mind,
drugs
come
to
on,
fight, man. I'm too busy doing drugs to fight anyone. That's you know.
Alright, you're asking an opinion, McGregor, on something. I can't remember what it was, sorry.
Yes. Well, do you think he should be charged with sexual assault?
Oh, that's right.
He gave the man.
No, not sexual assault. Just assault.
I think he should get a ban.
The intent wasn't sexual.
How do you know?
Yeah,
The way
Well,
Cash Ali was looking at David Price was a little bit suspect.
You know, I haven't actually watched the fight. I've just seen stills of it. But you'd have to do the same for Mike Tyson and anyone else who's bitten in the ring. What was that Polish heavyweight called?
Galata.
Yeah, him.
Oh, yeah. Andrew Galata. We've also got Double A Boxing and Blunts in the chat as well. Welcome, brother. How are you?
Oh, how's it going? I'm frozen. I'm in my car. If I had to jump out to the car, I'm fucking frozen.
True that. Still summer down here. It's all good.
It'd be nice. I'm right at. I'm quite north of Scotland. I'm no far from Loch Lomond. I'm about 20 minutes away from Loch Lomond. It's cold tonight.
What's the temperature?
I don't know. I'll put my car on. I'll tell you now. I'll put my car on, but I think it feels about -2.
Brr.
Jesus.
Look that.
It's not. My car says. Oh, my car says it's 2 degrees.
All right, Double A. What do you think should happen to Cash Ali? Should he get a ban or should he get done for sexual? What was it? Sexual violation.
Sexual assault. Sexual assault. I'm only asking this because somebody asked me this.
Fair
I
enough.
found it really stupid.
Did they bite
That's
his
why I'm
nipple?
asking you guys.
Did they bite his nipple?
So does that
Fair
mean he's
enough.
going to be a sex?
It was at the
sex
top of his
offender?
stomach.
Nah, I know what happened.
Cash.
His purse got held, by the way. See, straight after the fight, the British Boxing Board of Controller, I'm sure the guy's called Adam Smith as well. He was in the crowd and he confirmed to Sky that they held the purse. The purse has been withheld last night.
Ooh.
Damn.
But I'm sure there is a. I don't know how it works, but I'm sure if you're fighting I know for British title fights, if you get a disqualification and it's a headbutt or biting or something like that, it's usually a 1-year ban. A 1-year ban will be standard for him. So I think he'll probably get a 12-month ban and he'll lose his purse. But he's lost sparring. The biggest thing.
I think that's suitable.
Nobody will spar him. Who the fuck's going to spar Cash Ali? You know.
No. Well, who's going to fight him? I mean, it might be okay for sparring if it doesn't get too serious, but as soon as he starts getting a beat down, he's going to start biting again. But nobody's going to want to fight him.
Cash Ali.
No,
As soon as a boxer gets Cash Ali in the ring, any professional boxer who takes him sparring is going to start. They're going to headbutt him in the ring. Like nobody's going to fight clean with him, even sparring anymore. Every boxer will be trying to get him back.
Maybe.
I reckon.
Where you go, mate?
Sorry, mate. I reckon all the guys that spar him are going to insist that he wears a Hannibal Lecter mask.
Yeah, I was going to say something along the lines. He'll have to wear a top and bottom mouth guard so teeth can't.
Or a
break
gimp mask
skin.
in it.
Hello, Clarice.
Funny shit. Just a quick response to a question in the chat. Ronald Finkley's asking if Vladimir Klitschko deserves to be top 5 if he comes back. I think he'd need.
If who deserves to be top 5?
I think he'd need to have a fight to show what level he's at to be legitimately called a top 5. But
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think if he wanted to step straight into the ring with Deontay Wilder, why not?
Well, he's definitely a top 15 in my opinion. There's no doubt about that. Whether or not he's top 10, that's up to opinion. But he's definitely within the top 15.
Yeah, well, he's a gym rat anyway. I mean, he's like 43 years old now, but we've all seen those videos. He can't stay out of the ring, can't stay out of training, so you know, even that's, you know, 80%, I'd still put him in the top 15. But what do you guys reckon you want to take away in McGregor? No? Double A?
What about Vlad?
Yeah.
About
Do you think
Vlad?
Do you think he's a top 5 if he comes back straight away?
Based on what? Based on what?
Exactly, that's what I'm meaning. He'd probably need a tune-up to prove what level he's at. It's been that.
I mean, put him automatically in there because of what? Because of his history? Put him into the top 5 heavyweights? No. Like, in terms of his ability, I think he can beat a lot of guys. But I'm not just going to put him there. He hasn't fought anybody. He's fought twice in 4 years, losing both times.
Exactly.
So, but the way I'd look at it is I'd give him the ranking points that he deserves. And right now, his ranking points overall will pull him in around the 28th position or something. Because it's done on a 4.5, 5 year basis. So I think he'd be like in around the 30 area. But in terms of his skill set and stuff, he's a bit old now, Vlad. I still say he's probably a top 10, 15 guy. I'm not going to give him a top 5 ranking automatically. He doesn't deserve him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Double A, would you have any objections to Vlad jumping straight into a fight with either Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, or Tyson Fury?
Nah, I'd watch it, but I wouldn't. It's not something I agree with. I don't agree that any boxer who's lost a world title fight and then retired and then came back should automatically just walk back in line. You'd have to. For me, he should fight somebody in the top 10, become a top 10, and then get the fight. That's the way it should work for me. But at the end of the day, he could come out of retirement and get an AJ fight. Could walk straight into a rematch with AJ.
Yeah, well, those are the pros of being so dominant for a decade, I guess. It's still a big money fight for any guys, so it's the money that is going to get him in those fights. I mean, it's not fair to an extent to guys like, say, Joseph Parker, who's lost 2 in a row. He's not allowed to step straight back into a big fight like that. He's got to earn his way back, but Vlad can do it because of that dominance of a decade. But
I wouldn't be shocked if he goes to the zone. You've got to be shouting that if he goes to the zone, that you kind of go. Anybody who goes to the zone's kind of go. They don't come to you with a contract. You go to them and say to them, "For me to join you, I want this."
Yeah.
So he could be asking for AJ on a fight for a guarantee extra money as well.
Yep.
But I don't know. How many fights could you get a guy who's fought twice in that amount of time? And when he was fighting, let's admit, he wasn't exactly the most exciting fighter.
No, well, that his last fight in the ring was probably one of the most exciting styles we've seen him fight for a long time. Yeah. So, if he comes back and fights like that, it'd be a different story. You know, many people would actually change their view on what kind of fighter he is. But I don't know. I don't know if he would.
I don't like it because then you've got Tony Bellew and David Hale be back to come out of retirement and fucking.
No,
I can't see that happening. They're done.
I can see David Hay coming out of retirement to fight Shannon Briggs.
Nah, he ran from Shannon Briggs.
I'd pay to watch that.
I don't think he.
David Hay has never done. See when you're that far up your own arsehole, believe me, nothing but fame. That's what happened. You missed the fame. Like Tony Bellew said, when I retire, I just want to be called Anthony and I want to go home safe to my family. And he's never out the paper on that because you missed that. You missed the buzzy being you're somebody when you become somebody, and then the next day you're a nobody. It's hard.
You stop hating on David Hay just because he sold you down the river too many times, right? David Hay is pound for pound #1 of all time.
Are you trying to wind me up?
No, honestly, I'm a David Hay. Like, I travelled to watch David Hay and I absolutely love David Hay. And even when I knew he wasn't going to beat Tony Bellew, I still say, come on, David. Even though I hate the guy. David Hay's cost me fucking probably well over 10 grand to go watch.
And how much have you lost on betting on them as well?
I've only actually lost twice on David Hay betting. I made a good bet on David Hay, obviously.
Were those 2 times against Bellew?
No, I never bet him against Bellew.
Okay.
No, he was cropped.
I bet on Bellew both times. All praise Lord Tony.
He was cropped. I knew David Hay was cropped.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. See, I told you, I said this before. I don't like boxers who are vegans. I don't like boxers who use plant-based anything. See, have you ever seen the guy who gets in the ring? He used to get in with Amir Khan with he's got a fucking, like a man bag on. He's a big Asian guy, a big, tall, skinny Asian guy. Can't remember the guy's name. He's a vegan nutritionist and he works with the boxers. He was in the ring for the David Hay Bellew fight and the ref put him out the ring at the end of one of the rounds because he was in the ring. He's like a vegan specialist and he believes that you can eat plant-based, you can live a diet being a vegan and become a boxer. That's impossible.
Yeah.
No, it's not impossible if you supplement your diet with protein powder.
Have you bulk your body up like that? Like, there's a Eubank.
You can bulk your body up that way. I've done it.
Yeah, but isn't protein powder contain eggs and milk and shit?
No. It depends on the source of the protein powder. It's either casein, it's whey, or it's I can't remember what the third one is.
Yeah, there's all different types of sources. Like I know where you'll go. With this.
Even
it's just, I mean, personally, like I train, I box. I personally favor meat over any form of supplementation. I think it's just naturally better.
Yeah.
For your body. I just think it's.
See, if you're a vegan your whole life and then you become an athlete and you can live on a vegan diet, but you can't eat meat for 30 years of your life and then start using a plant-only diet, think that your body's not going to start acting up. That's the difference. Yeah. Like Sebastian Eubank's a vegan and that guy studied it and he knows it inside out and he's got the correct kind of muscle and that he can build with being a vegan, but no many boxers can.
Are you a vegan, Tommy?
No, I'm not vegan, but can I just I know sprinting is not the same as boxing, but do you guys remember a sprinter called Carl Lewis?
Yeah.
Yes.
Steroid user.
He's a vegan.
He was a vegan. He was also on steroids.
Yes. Oh, I won't deny
levels
that.
of testosterone.
I'm sure they were all on it, and even Linford Christie.
Didn't Linford Christie get done for it anyway in the end? One way or another?
Not really. He just got a big cloud over his head of suspicion.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody's on steroids.
Not me.
Hey, that's not true. That's not true, right?
Okay, 99%.
Some of us are on stimulants.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a question for you. You know, you get legal highs, and it's basically it's a chemical compound, a drug, and basically what they do is change a molecule, alter one molecule,
left and right.
Different. Do you think that there's loads of athletes out there who are just using legal highs, but steroids and stuff? Because how can you ban something that's not on the banned list? Like I just thought about it recently. I thought to myself, in China you can buy any kind of drug, any kind of molecule you can buy altered.
The way I look at it is you can take something that's not on the ban list, but it's still a PED, but it's just not categorized as a PED, not to use.
Yeah.
So I reckon everybody, when I say everybody, I mean 99%. That includes Mayweather, Pacquiao, every other guy that's at the top level is on something, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, a prime example of it is meldonium. You know, it had been around for like 45 years, and they've only just decided, 2 years ago to put it on the ban list. There's plenty of shit out there that's been there for a long time, and it can be used effectively.
I could send you a list of steroids, stimulants, just performance enhancements in general for weight cutting, etc., that are genuinely drugs, and they are not on the ban list. They are not under WADA, and I'll be honest with you, I have a list of 314 drugs that are not on the ban list.
Far out.
Can I ask you guys a question, though? Quick one.
Go for it.
Right. See if you go back, I don't know, the 1980s, because that was when they changed 15 rounds to 12. That Kim fight. Right. Now, if you look back at the boxers, especially the heavyweights of the day, they did 15 rounds. Their cardio, their endurance was so much better, and they didn't have the same sort of sports nutrition knowledge that we have now. They were just training harder and longer, in my opinion.
You sure it didn't have something to do with they didn't have as stringent drug testing as well?
Yeah, that's a valid point. But what I'm saying is they still had to put the work in.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can't take a drug and it magically makes muscles or magically makes you fit. You still got to do the work,
Exactly.
don't you? It's just the drug helps you. Interesting.
All different drugs have different like qualities.
Definitely.
EPO.
Like the main idea behind steroids in general is it like helps your muscle fibers develop quicker, a bit like protein. But if you think about just naturally without any forms of protein, your muscle fibers like they'll grow back like let's say in 4 days. For protein, it's like 2 days. If you're on steroids, it's like 16 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably less than that.
Yeah.
No, it's about that, but like you can build up a resistance. That's just the natural core base. Like over a longer period of time, and if you've built up the resistance, you're looking at about a few hours.
Mm.
Yeah, you can be back in the gym without damaging those muscle fibers, because muscle fibers they tear when you start lifting weights.
Yeah, so it's like instead of saving, you're super saving.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool.
Everybody knows a roid head.
And now there's so many cheats. There's so many ways to cheat nowadays, like ketosis and everything. Like people didn't know about ketosis back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s. People, that was rare knowledge, like the ketone bodies and stuff.
Oh, the fat burning.
Yeah, for fat burning, for extreme weight loss very quickly. So it was a lot harder back then. Like if you just completely cut out carbs for a month, you can lose 2 stone without really much exercise. If you just go on a pure water-based diet, like just that soups, stuff like that, just blend all your chicken up, your proteins. If you grill some bacon, stuff like that, grilled chicken, you're set. Just no carbs. 1 to 2 months, you'll drop 2 stone, 3 stone. I've done it. I've gone from 20 stone to 17 stone in the space of 2 months.
Dang.
Jesus, you're a big guy.
Like Tyson Fury was doing a lot of ketosis for the first 6 months. He dropped it at 6 stone in 6 months. He went from 28 to 22 stone.
I don't believe that Tyson lost all that weight naturally, and I'm a big Tyson Fury fan.
No.
You're probably right, yeah.
I'm just going to say this. The other day, Ben Davison put a post up on his Instagram saying something about Tyson Fury and when Tyson Fury walked into the gym and how they clicked. And I replied to him and I just put, "You were great as a team," and I tagged Christian Blackstock, Greg the nutritionist, and Ben Davison in it. And his actual nutritionist, the guy who works with him, is called Christian Blackstock, who done the ketosis. He sent me a private message the other day on Instagram. That's the guy. There's a guy you can follow him. He's called Christian Blackstock. I'm sure that's his name. And you'll find him. This guy, he basically all Tyson Fury was doing was taking the tablets and burning the fat, just running, jumping, just walking, anything, burn the fat.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is that you lose the weight, but it zaps your strength and your power. Your endurance will still be there. You just won't have that oomph in your punches. And I actually thought Tyson Fury's punches. Yeah, but Fury's punches in the Wilder fight was he didn't have much. Tyson doesn't have that much power to begin with, but he does have respectable power when he sits on his punches. His power was completely gone that fight, in my opinion.
So, do you guys think Tyson not signing up to the CBP until the very last minute prior to that fight had something to do with taking some kind of fat burner?
Sorry, signing up to
Absolutely.
what?
The CBP clean boxing program.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
VADA.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Or he had a shit ton of coke still in the system.
Could have been, or a bit of both.
Still got to get rid of this Tony Montana.
Maybe he had a little bit of MDMA in there. You never know.
Oh, clenbuterol could have been a whole lot of things.
Yeah, bit of clen.
Yeah.
The clenello.
Yeah.
All right.
Could have been a bit of sushi in there too.
Yeah. Everybody wants a bit of sushi these days.
Yeah, it's like
Not
Russian
me,
roulette.
man. Not me, man.
All right.
Sushi looks like a piece of sushi.
Yeah, dresses like it too. David Price wants to take on the winner of Lucas Brown versus Dave Allen. What do you guys reckon of that? Is it?
He's already
How about it?
That's what
I reckon. What's the Australian boxer called?
Lucas Brown.
Yeah, I reckon that would be a good fight because Lucas Brown can actually take a decent punch. Kinda, but he's got enough experience, but he's just too old and he's maybe too immobile now.
Yeah, I think he's 40 now, isn't he?
Yeah, he didn't look good in his last fight. Well, the white fight anyway.
Oh, that Kamil Sokolovsky.
He didn't look very
fight.
good against Sokolovsky either.
Yeah, and Double A was there.
He didn't
Yeah,
look
I
good
don't
against
think he looked
Sokolovsky.
I don't think he looked that bad. Honestly, he didn't look that bad. He was moving well and he was catching uppercuts. He literally, I was there, I reckon he was lucky we got hit with 8 or 9 punches that were actually good punches in that fight, and he landed plenty more. Do you know what he was working on more than anything? And he was stupid. He was working on trying to throw a punch and move out the way while he was throwing punches, and you don't do that against somebody like that. That's the only reason he got caught. Punching and then trying to move, because when he's in against Dave Allen, he's not going to punch Dave Allen and stand there throwing 5 and 6 punches at Dave Allen, because Dave Allen will just take a few and then throw one.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny, but Lucas Brown's all he's going to do he's going to try and hit Dave Allen with 3 or 4 punches and then try and get him to the side and then try and hit him. He's not going to stand and trade with Dave Allen. But Lucas Brown said that before he fought Sokolowski, he put up on his Instagram that the deal for Dave Allen's a 2-fight deal with Matchroom to fight Price next.
Okay.
He already said that. He already said that that's already a deal.
But if it is that, I guarantee you it's if he beats Dave Allen. I guarantee you that's the stipulation.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Dave Allen's too short.
Yeah, I see most of the bookies have got Dave Allen as the favourite in that fight. You guys...
that's only because Pricey's chin is...
The bookies are the only
suspect.
ones who have him as the favourite. I personally have Dave Allen favourite as well. I think he'll be...
Against Lucas Brown, I'm meaning. Yeah?
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
against Lucas Brown.
Okay, yeah.
Dave Allen.
I'll be honest, I haven't actually seen Dave Allen fight.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's not the best fighter.
I think
But he's not the worst.
I think it's close to a 50-50 fight myself. I mean, I think Lucas Brown's got the better boxing skill, but after seeing him get sparked like that from Dillian White, he's a walking KO waiting to fucking happen. And you know, with Dave Allen's sneaky punches after he's taken a few, it's quite possible he could just spark Lucas Brown out. So I'm not even gonna go near a bet on that one. I don't think.
I cashed my bet out. I bet 1,200 quid on Lucas. I bet 1,500 to start, but then I cashed 300 out. So I bet £1,200 at 8 to 13 on Lucas Brown, and then I cashed out the other day, got 1,100 for my cash out, and then put it on at 13.8.
Yeah.
So it's quids in for me because I was betting it anyway. So what I basically did is managed to get 400 quid back out it, and then I got more back for my bet anyway. So even if he loses, I'll no moan. But he's not going to lose. He's going to beat Dave Allen. Fucking hell. If Lucas Brown can't beat Dave Allen, it's a bad day. It's a bad day.
I think Dave Allen's going to stop him. I think he's going to stop him late.
I'll go out on a limb. I think the most likely outcome for me is Lucas Brown to win on points.
I don't think he's gone the full distance, man. His gas is gone. He has no gas.
Yeah, well, is Dave Allen going to put enough pressure on to gas him? He doesn't.
I think so. Dave Allen looks in amazing shape right now.
Oh, I haven't seen any recent pictures of him. So.
Never mind pictures. I'm seeing videos, man.
Okay.
He's really looking in good shape. He's looking fit.
Well, that could.
I've seen interviews with Dave Allen. When Dave Allen lifts the weight, so it does give him muscle and it'll burn his tank, man. Dave Allen will gas out in the daytime. Dave Allen.
I don't think so. Hey. The lunges, I'm seeing him on treadmills. I'm literally seeing a lot of stuff live on his Instagram. He's running for an hour and 10 minutes. He's doing pad walk. He's training.
I seen he was at the Rotunda the other day. And he done about a 40-minute workout. And after it, you should have seen him, mate. He looked as if he was fucked, man. He looked as if they were going to carry him out in a stretcher. His legs, man, his legs and arms will be burning. See, after he throws, after 2 rounds of throwing punches, his arms will be dead. Dave Allen shouldn't be lifting weights ever. It's not in his character to lift weights.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but I just feel he's actually going to get this win. I think Brown's too old. I don't rate his chin, and I think his gas tank's actually worse than Dave's. I think his gas tank's gone.
And plus, he's too heavy anyway.
They both are.
Lucas Brown, what's he weighing? I thought he was in pretty good shape for his last fight.
He was still like 18 stone though. He was like 254 pounds.
Okay.
But he's
Yeah, that's a big guy.
full time. He doesn't go to like a strength and conditioning coach or that. He's got a full time team running about him now. A multi-millionaire. There's a millionaire out there who gave Lucas Brown a team, a full team. That guy for Rich Energy who sponsors the Haas Formula One team. Lucas Brown's manager now, but he's got my nutritionalist and strength and conditioning coach and everything like constant. So twice a week he does that. Just because Lucas Brown says that he used to just go in the house and lift weights and go and punch a punch bag. That's
not
top
good.
boxer. That's nobody. You're not going to get far doing that.
That's a part-time boxer.
Yeah.
That's what Dave Allen used to do. He used to have a gym in his house.
Is his house a pub?
No, have you never seen it? What was it called, McGregor? Can you remember Dave Allen had that, and it was like a pit? It was called
I
the
don't
Shed.
remember, to be honest, mate.
It was like a brick building that he built in his house, like in his garage, and he used to get his pals in, and he used to have put the gloves on and have 8 and 10 round spars in a concrete ring.
Wicked. Here's another article. Frank Warren says Tyson Fury will have to be at his best to beat Tom Schwartz. Is that funny or what? Nah? What do you guys reckon about this Tom Schwartz fight for Tyson Fury?
Tom who?
They're going to charge us £20 to watch that. That's going to end up a pay-per-view here.
Are you kidding? They better have
I'm
a
no
decent
joke.
card.
They're going to give us the Warrington fight for free and then try and charge us to watch Tyson Fury. John, honestly, I hate to say this, but I'm done with Tyson Fury. I honestly hope Tom Schwartz punches his cunt in. That's happening.
Oh, choice.
Imagine that. But imagine if
You're saying Tyson's a wee fanny, aren't you?
Aye, seriously. Imagine being the champion of the world and then turning into a big fat druggie and then getting a chance to come back, getting a second chance to come back and fighting for the WBC belt, the one that you've never owned, the one that you want to complete you lose it and then you draw it and then you still get a chance to a rematch. And even on top of that, AJ said they'll give us a 60-40 split to fight me at Wembley. So you're thinking, do you know what? If I could go to Wembley and fight AJ, get all the belts in a 60-40 split, and then he says, no, I'm going to fight Wilder, and then Disney do that to fight Tom Schwartz. You refuse to fight two people for shitloads of money and all the belts to fight Tom Schwartz.
Yeah.
Can I counter that?
Do it.
All right. Everything you say, I agree with. However, you have to take into context the fact that he signed a big fucking money deal with Top Rank. And obviously they're going to want to steer him in a certain direction. And they're not going to put him into a risky fight on his first of the 5 fights that are part of the contract.
Yeah, he's kind of.
So let him get through this fight and then see what happens.
He's kind of.
You got to appreciate that.
If he wants
Top
that
Rank
money, he's got
have
to
their
do
fingers
what
in that
Bob.
pie.
Yeah. If he wants that money from Top Rank, he's got to do what Bob says, doesn't he? So.
Well,
yeah.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know if Tommy, do you rate Tyson Fury as the lineal heavyweight champion or not?
I used to until I went on to someone's live page last night, a guy called Magnus or something like that, and he basically educated everyone. He says, right, go look online and see if there's any publication still has Tyson as the lineal, and I did it, and no one has Tyson as the lineal anymore.
The only thing he's rated lineal on is Wikipedia.
Yeah, but anybody can update that.
Anybody can change Wikipedia. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So Wikipedia's a load of shit.
Now, Tyson Fury is making a claim that he's the lineal champion, right?
He was the lineal.
No, he's making the claim he's lineal.
I'm just saying he was. He's not anymore.
You can't lose lineal though. That's my problem. When you retire, you're still lineal champion. If he comes back, that's why the gap between the lineals, I reckon, was so long in the heavyweights, because they didn't know what was going on. at one point.
Look,
They didn't know.
This is my thing, right? I don't believe in the lineage. I think it's complete bullshit. I don't think it even exists. Right? That's
What
just
about pound for pound,
my
then?
thing. I don't think pound for pound really exists either, because pound for pound
Fair
was
enough.
originally
You're
created with
consistent
the idea of pound for pound was completely rated with the idea of if we shrunk somebody down and beat somebody up and they were both the
Exactly.
same size and
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
and they fought each other, who would win. Yeah, it was originally a way to like manifest Sugar Ray Robinson
But
and
you've got
everything
to-
like that. And
But to be fair, he was the best.
look, if you do the whole pound for pound thing, and even though I've gotten into arguments, I personally would prefer to do it via resume, and I don't think Sugar Ray Robinson has the greatest resume of all time. I personally think he has number 4 greatest resume of all time, but everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Okay, let me get. Do you guys remember a super middleweight called Sven Otka?
Yes, Sven Otka, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
he basically never fought outside his own home country, and he got a lot of judges' gift decisions, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah,
He
like
had
Robin
a very
Reed,
good
yeah.
resume. Yeah. I think he retired 34-0, undefeated.
He
Now,
retired
if you take
34-0 with 6 knockouts, yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you take his resume, I mean, just on its own, you have to take it in context as well. People's resumes. It's not just kids looking at abstract numbers.
Well, his resume is quite poor.
Yes, what I'm saying is, if he'd maybe fought on another couple of years into this, he'd got to 45-0. You know, if he's still fighting bums and he's getting gift decisions, then you have to take that into context when you evaluate someone's resume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is the other thing that I don't agree with as well. See, people rating people's resumes on the people who fought for a world title. I can only give people credit if they win a world title. See, people who say, like, fighting against Povetkin's good because he's only lost to 2 champions. I don't buy that. I see people who, like, everybody who's out there who's an upcoming prospect, they build their career by fighting against people who lost against world champions. You make a living out of no winning a world title, and that can build your resume. People look back on people's resumes and go, "Oh, I fought that guy only lost to him," and you're like, "But check that guy's resume. Who did he actually beat? If you beat a lot of stiffs in a world title fight and got absolutely mauled, and so people can look on somebody else's resume and see your name and give that as a credible name, and that's bollocks. Like, fighting for a world title fight doesn't make you world level either now, which is a lot of shit as well. To get fight for a world title,
champion.
you used to have to be the best in your country. The best in Europe at one point if American had the world title and you were the best in Europe, you went on and fought in America for the world title. No, it doesn't work like that. It's whoever can pay the guy the most money to get him.
It's money now.
Yeah, it's a business. Can I ask you guys one other question?
A lot of bollocks.
Go for it, Tommy.
Okay. What are your guys' opinions on? This is a bit of a loaded question. So, what are your guys' opinions on people fighting for vacant titles?
I think it has to be, in whichever governing body it is, it has to be the first 2 available guys. If it's not the first 2 available guys, then it shouldn't be up for grabs in the fight, in my opinion.
If a title is made vacant, my personal opinion is I would like to see a round robin within that sanctioning body of eliminators to a final eliminator, and then we get one decisive.
So like
at the end of that.
the top 8 tournament sort of thing.
Kind of something like that. That's what I would personally like to see, because that way we would have a definitive guy in that sanctioning body.
Good shout. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, something like that. I agree with something like that. Definitely.
Okay.
I don't like the idea of the sanctioning body just saying, "Oh yeah, we'll have Glaskov, who's rated number 3, against Charles Martin, who's number 7."
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the reason why I asked the question was because I don't agree with AJ and Klitschko fighting for the vacant WBA title.
Well,
AJ, yes, but not Klitschko, because he was retired, came back, and all of a sudden he gets his crack at a...
Klitschko wasn't retired. Klitschko was meant to fight against Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury had his own thing
my bad.
vacated. And Klitschko was actually made the mandatory for that fight, against by
Yeah,
the
but on
WBA,
a
so they
loss?
actually
On a loss.
even on a loss, he had a right and he had a signed contract. No, he had a signed contract legally making
the
it so that he
rematch.
would be able to fight for the rematch to have that fight. So it was
Yeah,
legal.
but the rematch who?
That was a
Rematch who? Tyson.
it didn't actually matter
Yeah,
who it was.
It's
It was
rematching.
he legally. He had to fight for that, whether the title went vacant or not. That was a legal thing, signed and everything. The WBA explained that, and because then he fought against AJ, and he was meant to do it, putting another champion in there to have to fight for that belt. I'm actually all right with that one.
Okay,
I-
fair
I-
point.
I
Can't
did-
argue with that.
Yeah, the
I
the
know
fact
that.
was he was
But-
deprived of his chance to get his belt back. Really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
His contract, with your contract when you fight for his rematch with Tyson Fury, would have been a contract with the WBA. Each of the governing bodies would have to sanction that fight, and that would have been for them for Klitschko to get a rematch. It wouldn't have been for Tyson Fury to defend the belt.
Mm.
How on earth did
Interesting.
Bermain Stavern? How did Bermain Stavern and Chris Ariola manage to fight for the vacant WBC? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
What were their rankings at the time, McGregor? You know them.
That's because that's after Vlad, or not Vlad, Vitaly retired.
Vital,
isn't it?
yeah, well, yeah, but like Chris Ariola, he was the silver champion, and Stavern was ranked number 6.
So Silver
That's Don
champion
King
were
for you.
6.
There were
Don
2 guys
King.
ahead of them, and I can't remember who they were. So yeah, it was Don King for you.
Yeah.
Completely a Don King thing. But I know that Stavern was ranked 6, and Ariola was the silver champion, but he wasn't inside the top 5. So
It's
they
How can
ended
you
up
be silver
fighting each
champion
other
and not being top
because
5?
because silver doesn't automatically mean top 5. It means a top 10 ranking.
Oh,
And
guys,
just,
let me ask you this:
See about the
out of
people
all
that
the
are under
sanctioning bodies, who do you think is the most honourable?
IBF.
None.
Yes, me too. IBF.
Wait, most honourable?
Not prestigious, honourable.
Well, prestigious, none of them. Fuck them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prestigious for me, I'd say WBA personally, but that's a whole different
Yeah,
argument.
because they're the original, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're the first belt.
Well, they're not actually the first belt. The first belt didn't actually have a sanctioning body. The very first belt was unsanctioned. It was just called the World Heavyweight Championship by John Elson. There wasn't
And
a
did not
sanctioning
become the
body. There wasn't
WBA.
any govern. It became the NBA, and it became the NBA roughly around 1921 during the era of Jack Dempsey.
Ah.
What did that stand for? Do you know?
National Boxing Association.
national-
So it was actually a national title. And then the NSAC came into fruition during that era as well, with the New York State Athletic Commission during the 1923. And that was when the first type of unification ever happened. And thus the just undisputed becoming a real thing with more than one belt, the first time with 2 belts. So undisputed came into prevalence. And it wasn't until 47 during Ring Magazine where they mentioned Man Who Beat the Man, when Joe Louis had just become a 10-year reigning champion, that he was the man who beat the man, and then he became the man 10-year legacy. So that was when lineal kind of the man who beat the man concept kind of came into fruition.
Okay.
But as far as honorability right now, I feel like they're all very unhonorable. I don't respect any of the governing bodies personally. But I think the IBF, I don't like the ranking system as such.
No.
I mean, Kevin Bizier and Acampo in the welterweight division spring to mind as mandatories that are very questionable. But
For that chat, you just say that Charles Martin fighting for that belt. That's enough.
Yep.
Just for
however,
people
I feel
always
like
say
the
IBF
IBF have the best set of rules. I believe the IBF have the best set of rules, and they're the best when it comes to making their fights happen.
Well, they seem to be the best at enforcing their rules as well. They don't fuck around,
Definitely.
you know, and bend over for whoever's got the most money or whatever. So that's the only
Most
reason I picked the IBF, and I'm not saying that they are the best. I'm just saying they're, how do I put this? All of them are assholes. The whole lot of them. But
Yeah.
the one that's the least of an asshole is the IBF for me. So.
all they like doing is making money. They make sure that their belts are constantly active. They don't have a belt sat there that's no getting fought for, because if a belt sat in a corner, it's no making money.
Yep.
Well, the
They
IBF, they stripped loose,
They don't
didn't
care
they?
if they lose.
They
Doesn't
did,
matter
yes,
if
they
lose,
did strip
let them
those.
see if somebody wins.
They
it's
stripped
going to fight.
Carl Frotch. They stripped loads of people.
Here's a trivia question for you. I wonder if any of you can answer this, because I only learned it a couple of weeks ago. Can you guys tell me the first governing body, right, to sanction a world cruiserweight title fight?
Aye, I don't know.
The IPO?
We talking about it the other day, and it was even funny when we were talking about who it was. Some of the people who won that.
Yeah.
WBF.
Well, I know who won. It wasn't the WBF, no.
Fuck knows who else is there?
It was the WBC.
No, real.
Was it?
Okay.
Yeah, the WBC in 1979 made the first ever world title fight in the cruiserweight division. It was Carlos de Leon who became the champion. And for about a 4-year period, there was no other sanctioning body, so he's the only man after 1920 to be considered an undisputed champion in some people's eyes. with one belt.
Aye, that was the argument. You can't be unification means more than one thing coming together to become one.
That's right.
So you can't.
But technically he was undisputed, but he wasn't. You know what I mean?
Well, there was only one.
Because technically the weight division itself wasn't considered a proper weight division by the WBA or the IBF, so they didn't consider it an actual weight division for a few years.
Hey man, have you got a channel of your own?
Yeah, Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News.
The funniest bit's the next champion, McGregor. That's the bit that I found funny. Who's the next cruiserweight champion?
Who's the next cruiserweight champion? Probably Glavatsky.
No, who was it after? Who held the next belt in the cruiserweight? No, it wasn't. He was the first man. He was the first man after. Right, this was after Evander Holyfield's undisputed reign at cruiserweight. When he moved up to heavyweight, Glenn McCrory became the first guy to hold the IBF cruiserweight championship after it was vacated by Evander Holyfield. Yeah. Oh, he was the first.
Mate, why do I know all this?
Because you're a walking boxing encyclopedia, and we love it. It's good.
Yeah, man, I'm informed.
It's good shit.
Oh, I found something the other day, by the way. Like this, I don't know if anybody's interested, but like I found like an entire archive of newspaper files and everything, right? From like 1769 is the first date to 1963. It's an archive of thousands and thousands of newspaper articles, like in America, pretty much from all of these papers. I've been reading up on Harry Greb, McLaren, I've been reading up on Sam McVeigh, Harry Wills, all this stuff. Even some stuff on Tom Molyneux. There was over 150 reports of him. And you see what the culture was like and how society described people and people of colour and everything. It was crazy, man. But absolutely unbelievable. I'm just finding so much stuff on thousands of things.
Wicked.
I love it. What's that, Jono?
I just said, wicked. Cool. Hey, your man, AA, Martin Bakoli Alunga, has got a fight coming up.
Whack.
Yeah, Marius Vak. How's he gonna
What a
go?
fight that is. Hold on. Can someone explain to me how Martin Bakoli, right, is eligible to fight for the Polish heavyweight title? Can someone explain that one?
No, I actually, right, and I don't know, right.
Thought he was
I don't
Polish.
even want to see it, because I know be watching anyway, but I swear to God, I wish somebody would get Martin Bakoli and take him away from Billy Nelson.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Billy Nelson's using Billy Nelson just wants to brag about how good Bakoli is and put him sparring all the time. Honestly, I believe that Martin Bakoli is overtraining. See when Billy Nelson gets a hold of him, he takes him down to London and he's fucking in every single gym, trying to fucking get him in the corner so everybody can watch him. Seriously, he needs to watch what he's doing. I think Martin Bakoli's going to end up getting himself hurt. I'm worried for him. Like, I'm not be betting on that fight, that's for sure. No way.
Yeah.
I rated him. I really did. I really thought he had something about him when I heard the sparring stories and that.
He probably does have something about him if Billy Nelson had nothing to fucking do with him. If he had a real coach. So, I don't know. But yeah, like, McGregor was saying, how the fuck is Bacoli fighting for the Polish title when he resides in England? Oh, in the
Joey Abel fought for it. Joey Abel fought for it a couple of years ago, I'm sure. You don't need to be Polish to fight for it.
Oh, real?
I don't know how it
That's
works.
crazy.
I think there might be two Polish belts as well. I think there might be a Polish heavyweight title and a Polish Federation belt kicking about. One of them you need to be Polish, and one of them you need to fight against a Polish person. I'm sure there's like in a Hungarian belt. I'm sure there's a couple of British heavyweights who are shit who have won Hungarian belts and that.
Okay, interesting.
I think because they're no aligned to the WBC or aligned to any of the governing bodies. Like if you win a British title, you automatically become ranked. I think the WBC always pick you up.
Yeah.
So I don't think it holds any clout. If he wins that Polish title, he'll no rise anywhere.
So what's the point? He's likely to get a beating from what? Because he's going to be a hell of a lot smaller. I mean, Wok's on a mission to try and come back too, so he's going to be jabbing the shit out of Bacoli all night. Okay,
Jono, do you mind?
Yo,
Do you mind if I respond to someone in your chat, like a little off topic about the belts thing?
go for it, man.
Oasis once said WBC is the first belt.
Nah.
The very first WBC heavyweight champion was Sonny Liston. He won that on July 22nd. He was awarded the title after beating Floyd Patterson, mate. So if that's the first world title in 1963, boxing's a very young sport.
Yep.
It's only 55.
Yep.
The first ever world champion was John O'Sullivan. He was just called the world champion. First ever recognised champion of an actual belt was Jack Dempsey.
And the first.
You should change your YouTube channel to the Boxing Historian.
I'm not actually a full on historian yet, man. I'm still learning. There's some guys out there who know more than I do, like a lot more than I do.
Oh, you're still young.
Yeah, I'm only 25.
Jesus, man, I could be your daddy.
Me too.
I'm Murray's dad.
You know, AA Boxing and Blunts is actually my dad, right?
Yeah,
I'm your old dad.
sure.
Me old dad. These guys don't believe me either, do they?
Well, at least you know your
Dad.
A
pops.
Scotsman and an Irishman doesn't really make sense.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
One of you,
They're discussing our accents.
yeah, one of you should have a twang on your accent.
I've been in
I live in England. I don't even
for
live
too
in
long.
Scotland.
So we're all a bit plastic.
Yeah, fucking oath.
He's Scottish living in Leeds. You're Irish living in England. I'm Irish living in Ireland. He's
Hello.
Kiwi living in Kiwi.
So we got
But I'm in
one real
Scotland,
paddy.
Scotland just now.
I missed that. What was that last bit?
I'm in Scotland
I
just
said we
now.
got one real paddy.
One real paddy. Yeah, I got Scottish ancestry, but that doesn't count. William Wallace is one of me rallies.
I'm a mixture. I'm
Freedom.
Yeah. All right.
My family's mostly Dubliners.
No.
I've got family in Dublin.
Dublin's a great place.
Nah, it's no better than Glasgow. Nowhere beats Glasgow. Nowhere.
I'm just talking in comparison to Limerick, man. It's a great place.
In comparison to Leeds, it's fucking amazing. Dublin's awesome.
If you come across a cafe in Dublin called Cafe Bliss, make sure you order a big feed there and say hello to the manager. It's my sister-in-law.
Wait, what's the name of it?
Cafe Bliss.
Hold on here.
I thought you said blunt.
I'll go. Cafe Bliss. Oh, I've heard of this. It's out in Sandyford, isn't it? No, it's not. It's out in Montague Street. I know this place, man.
It's kind of my sister-in-law. It's my brother's sister-in-law.
Oh, right.
That's still your sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
man.
boys, I'm
It's all,
going to go and raise
all
the
relative.
vengeance.
You're gonna go raid the vending machine?
I'm going to go raid the vending machine and go to bed. I was at some unlicensed boxing earlier. That's why I'm in Scotland. I went to watch an unlicensed fight in Glasgow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Guys,
Two boys
let me ask you a question. Who is Brendan Rodgers?
Brendan Rodgers is a football manager currently managing Leicester, former manager of Celtic and Liverpool.
Okay, someone said I sound like him.
You don't sound like him.
Oh, no, you actually do. You've actually
you do, mate. Hold on a second.
Oh dear.
You actually do.
Just
Holy
see
shit.
when you said that, when you actually started saying it, it's the seriousness. You sound like him.
I'm
Almost
feeling
like
a
Mick
bit
McCarthy.
self-conscious
He's
right
like
now.
a really boring Mick McCarthy.
You gonna
Do us a favor. Say that we did everything that we could.
You did everything
that.
you could.
Does.
You
Thank
did everything
God.
you could.
That's eerie. That's eerie.
I feel violated and I don't even know this guy. Who the fuck is Brendan Rodgers?
He's a football manager and a decent one. He's from Northern Ireland. Man.
Is he? I'm not into football.
He's from
Good on
Carnlough.
Good on you. Oh, lads.
Anyway,
Where you go?
Can vs Crawford. What do you guys think?
I think Crawford's going to figure him out after about 4 rounds, time that speed, and stop him in round 7 to 8.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
But it could be very competitive in those first 4 rounds.
But what I would say is, Can has slowed down because combination punching isn't as fast as it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But Can is very, very good at fighting southpaw, so it will be exciting until he gets clipped.
The other lads reckon.
Can I just say one thing? Amir Khan has never fought anybody ranked in the pound list, except for Canelo.
Yeah, and he did all right in that fight until he got shot.
Until he got absolutely destroyed. But there's one difference. Terence Crawford's very defensively sound. He has very good feet, and Amir Khan will not live with his timing, in my opinion. Amir Khan's little, 6 to 8 shot burst of the rhythm is the same every single time.
Yes,
And
you're right.
He will get clipped, and Crawford can bang.
Yeah, he's not
So.
smart enough to change up the combination every time he throws it, because that's what he'd have to do to be able to not get clipped eventually. Terence
He'd also
Crawford's
need
too
to be
smart.
better at fighting on the back foot. Amir Khan's not brilliant on the back foot. He looks brilliant when he's loading up on you
Going
on a
forward,
punch,
yeah.
like you're a punching bag. He looks absolutely phenomenal, but he doesn't know how to shape his elbows. He doesn't know how to block shots coming in from to the body. He doesn't know how to stabilize, and he gets timed.
Yeah.
So as fast as his hands are, as good as he can be against southpaws, and his last performance, he got dropped and went the full distance with Samuel Vargas. And it's not like it was Jesse Vargas. We're talking about a perennial journeyman.
Yeah.
This is Samuel Vargas, a guy who's never been good enough at top level. Gave Amir Khan a very hard fight. A fight where Terence Crawford probably would have won that fight without losing a single round and probably stopping the guy.
I was impressed by Crawford, the way he dealt with Horn.
Didn't take him long.
He
eh?
bullied him.
He moved up in weight for that fight, and bear in mind, Horn in his last fight, he fought what's that old guy called? The Australian guy, Mundane.
Anthony Mundine.
Mundine, yeah.
Anthony Mundine.
Yeah, and Horn looked like a fucking monster. Did you see the size of him?
Well, can I just say something that you might not know? When Jeff Horn was fighting against Terence Crawford, he was highly struggling to make weight because Horn's really big. He is naturally probably
He's massive.
60-pound man. He was struggling to make weight for the fight before that as well. When he beat his opponent, he was struggling. Apparently, he was puking. There's even some rumors from his camp that they actually had to give him a water diet for the last 2 weeks just to make weight. And when he came into the ring, he was terribly dehydrated. He was bone dry.
When he was fighting on Joseph Parker
Yeah, but it
undercards
was weak as
over
well.
here in New Zealand, he was struggling to make 147 then, and that's like 3 to 4 years ago. He's never, it's always been a struggle for him.
He's even missed weight. He's even missed weight 4 or 5 times during his career at 147.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might have played a part. And I agree with you completely. I would have preferred to see him have a career at 154 pounds, but there you go. He wanted to use his size and his weight at 147 and paid off. He managed to fight against a Hall of Famer. Win a fight against a future Hall of Famer, Manny Pacquiao.
Can I ask you guys that are like say in the southern hemisphere? Do you think it's harder for Australian or New Zealand boxers compared to say the British to make it?
Oh, of course. There's hardly any market down here. Once you've got 10 fights under your belt, you pretty much got to leave our shores unless you've got somebody like Duco to throw a lot of money behind you like they did with Joseph Parker, but then they don't have the money to throw at anything besides
the promoters.
They could only do it with one fighter, and they could only do it for so many pay-per-views in New Zealand. And
even then, for Joseph Parker to then actually fight like top tier opposition, he had to leave.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, speaking of promoters, you know Dave Higgins?
Yeah.
Yes.
I swear to God, that guy always has a look on his face like he's just smelt a fart. Look at him. You know what I'm talking about.
He's a fucking weirdo, man. He's a fucking weirdo.
He just has that weird look on his face.
Yeah.
Like he smells something really rotten.
Jono's not the best of friends with Dave Higgins, are you, Jono?
Not exactly. Don't like me much. But no, he's a, what do we call a quirky kind of guy, that's for sure. He's always been like that, and he's always looks like he's been smoking something.
He's definitely a character. He's a character, though.
Yeah. I've seen his twin brother on a couple of videos, and he's like a different kettle of fish. He looks just about exactly the same, but he doesn't come across as a fucking weirdo. So it's interesting. It's just him. He's done his fighter a hell of a lot of good though. So
yeah, he has. He's done Australia proud, in my opinion.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, sorry, New Zealand. Sorry. Should I said New Zealand?
So good.
Which is it?
No, it's New Zealand. It's New Zealand.
Sorry, my bad.
His old business partner, Dean Lodigan.
I know that's like a cardinal sin saying stuff like that.
Mate, I know how John was feeling because the amount of Americans who just say like the UK to me, and I'm from the Republic of Ireland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know how it feels.
For any Americans listening, it's like if you're American being called Canadian. Yeah, the same thing.
No, it's like being American and being called Mexican.
Oh, go on. It's all good. It happens. But yeah, David Higgins' old business partner has taken over the Australian side of the Duco since they split. And he was also a New Zealander as well, but Dean Lodigan, his name is. But yeah, they did a good job with Joseph Parker. And I think Joseph Parker's still going to stay with Duco, even though his contract runs out at the end of this year. But
do you know what? I felt sorry for Parker because he was so close to stopping White.
Yeah, I'd love to see a rematch, to be honest, but
I didn't feel sorry for him. He was close, but he didn't do it.
No, he needed to get his mongrel out a lot earlier in the fight, and he didn't.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's too nice. That's the problem.
Paid the price for it.
Yeah, he's got no balls, mate.
Mm-hmm.
No, just his mean streak isn't enough. That's all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's got no testicles.
It's like he needs someone to kick him in the nuts to get him going. It's just not happening.
Oh, I'd give him a kick there if he had any.
Oh, a kick in the dick then.
I would if he had one. Mate, look, I rate Parker as a fighter. Just do it. Just fight.
Yeah.
Fight. You could be an amazing fighter. I'm not talking boxer. You can box all right. Yeah, you're decent. Whatever. You can jab and you've got nice hands and whatever. You've got a chin. You've got power. You get in there and fucking batter somebody.
Yeah. Fucking fight.
Yeah,
Next time you fight, if you fight Dillian White again, batter him. like you did in
but
the
to be
last
fair,
3 rounds.
If you're gonna criticize Parker, in my opinion, you have to criticize AJ because in that fight, both of them played it so fucking safe.
They did in that
All right,
fight.
sure, I'll criticize AJ.
It was like,
Yo, you're 6'6", you're 250 pounds, and you can punch like a mule. What are you
And you
doing
got
standing on
reach
the back foot
advantage.
and standing on the back foot against a small chubby guy from New Zealand and just throwing a little jab and get rocked by an uppercut? Go in there and knock his ass out. I want to see people get hooked.
it was too smart. I think that's what Team Parker were expecting. That's what they prepared for. It didn't happen, so they didn't know what to fucking do. You know? But it is what it is. On the Joseph Parker front, a little inside news. It looks like Derek Chisora is going to be his next opponent after Sinad Gashi.
Provided he wins, of course.
Yeah. And that should be on June 13th in England somewhere. So
That'll be a good fight. That'll be entertaining.
should be a good dust up. He'll have to get the mongrel out in that
Yeah.
fight because Del Boy don't fuck around. So
No, he doesn't.
Del Boy's seen better days, in my opinion.
I agree, but still a good way to work his way back up, I think.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
Del Boy
Perfect
has
fight.
had a knockout loss and a knockout victory in his last 2 fights. I mean, getting knocked out when you were actually beating Dillian White up, he was doing well. He was beating him up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, but he was. To be fair, Del Boy wasn't treated fairly in that fight by the referee, in my opinion.
or in the first fight, he wasn't treated fairly by the judges either.
I have to go. I haven't actually watched that second fight a second time. I might have to go
the
see what you're on about.
It's a. Yeah, but Dillian White, he boxed a different tactic in the second fight.
Yeah, I think in that
He
first fight he kind of gassed out somewhat.
He went to
didn't
war. Yeah, they both gassed out. They both went to war.
He was trying to save himself for a later part of the fight in that second one. But yeah, interesting. All right, guys. I'm looking at trying to wrap this up very shortly. So if there's any other subjects you'd like to bring up, now's the time to shoot.
Do you want to talk about some sushi?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Sticky, smelly bitch.
Bad for your health, isn't it?
Right.
It is if you kiss it.
Right. So, jeez. Right. For me, I think it's wrong. Right. I think it's wrong that he kissed her. Right.
Yep,
I think you
of course
shouldn't
it's
have done it. I think you shouldn't kiss a woman if she doesn't want you to. You shouldn't. Also, I think it was incredibly stupid on his part. Right.
Agreed.
However, her comments afterwards that she felt humiliated, violated, and that she went to his an after party of multiple fighters, blah 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 blah, thinking to get interviews. 1, you haven't uploaded any interviews. You didn't actually take any interviews. 2, you went to Kubrat Pulev's private after party, and 3, you were grinding on his friend 6 feet away from him in a video. Now, if you felt that humiliated and that violated, I don't believe you would be at that party. I'm not saying what Kubrat Pulev, like 2 wrongs make a right or whatever, but if you felt humiliated and violated, I don't think you're going to be grinding on another man's lap 6 feet away from a guy that you're claiming sexually assaulted you.
Bang.
Now,
If that's how you felt.
just trying to make money out of a situation. But like you say, I totally agree. Kubrat Pulev's got to have fucking rocks on his head to do that shit in the first place. He's dug his own hole here, but she's jumped on that money train and she's going to try and milk him for all that she can get.
Can I make one observation, right? And I watched this video in slow motion, right? Watch after the kiss, play it in slow motion, right? She backs off for less than a second, right? And then she gets right back into his personal space after.
Oh, really?
She does, and she also at the end of the video says thank you.
Yeah, as if it was a hush agreement.
And she's giggling and laughing and all that
Yeah, so I think she basically used Pulev to further her own career.
Well, she's certainly getting a hell of a
Also-
lot of publicity.
Skank.
stuff. Also,
Okay.
Jono, you know the way I don't actually like highlight other boxing channels on your platform. Can I highlight one
Yeah,
person?
mate, go for it.
Right, so there's a guy called EJ Boxing Live. If you haven't, go over to EJ Boxing Live's channel and watch a video. He interviewed a guy today. I can't think of the man's name, but he was a manager at a nightclub 4 years ago where Jenny Sushi was working at that nightclub as a stripper. And he was talking about how she has done different shades of prostitution and stuff, and he has the receipts and everything like that. So this isn't the most credible of women. So go over and watch that. Also watch like the hangout where we were talking about like what was going on. We were doing live investigation into our background and stuff like that. So actually go have a look at EJ Boxing Live. Just give it a look, because definitely very informative on this situation.
Interesting. All right.
Can I just ask a quick question to? Sorry, man. What's your name?
You can call me Mark. Mark. Just call me Mark.
Have you been on BDA before?
I have been on BDA. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I recognized your voice.
I've been, mate. Honestly, I've been on near enough every channel on YouTube at this stage that does boxing.
Yeah.
I don't do the boxing voice anymore.
I've been on there too.
Yeah, I've been on there too, but no.
I co-hosted for a little bit.
That's probably where I heard you from. Right.
But I don't know, man. That was like about a year ago. So
before all the Wilder bullshit.
Before I wanted to slap Nestor across the face.
He's a fucking idiot, isn't he? I hate him.
Yes, he is.
He's just like Sushi. He's a media whore.
Yeah.
Such a casual as well, man.
Oh, but I'm hardcore.
I'm just gonna pander to my fans.
Oh, good.
He said I don't know shit about boxing. Said I don't know anything about the history of the sport because I told him who I think is my greatest fighter, pound for pound, #1 of all time. So,
but that's your opinion.
I know it's my opinion, but the very fact that he said there's no way this guy should even be mentioned in the conversation just made me just despise him as a human being.
No, he's a slag.
It's a hint for most people who want to talk boxing is as soon as someone comes out with, oh, you know nothing about boxing, don't even bother talking to them anymore. It's just a childish reaction.
You know nothing about boxing.
No.
You know nothing about boxing, Jono. Nothing.
Thanks, mate.
You only know the heavyweights.
Yep. And I still don't know all of that either.
That's true.
I'm just a boxing fan.
But mate, when it wasn't the fact that he was arguing my opinion, it was just the disrespect he put on Sam Langford's name. Like, how are you going to talk disrespectfully about Sam Langford?
Are you aware the beef he had with what's his name, Dawkins? What's his first name? Raphael Dawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah. He roasted Nez badly on his channel. It was so funny the way he did it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, lads. I'll think about wrapping it up there. And have you got a channel of your own there, Tommy?
Yeah, I do.
You do? You want to give that a plug while you're here, mate?
It's just Tommy Temper, lowercase, no space. I've got 5,500 subs.
Awesome. Go and check out Tommy's channel. Also go and
5,240 subscribers, 81 video. This guy.
There'll be one more in a minute too, because I'm not subbed.
Yeah, I subscribe to.
All good.
Thanks, man.
Also go and check out Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News, formerly known as McGregor Boxing Stars.
Subbed.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also
Appreciate that.
Also, AA Boxing and Blunts puts out a lot of funny shit. Go and check out his channel and subscribe as well. So,
what was that? What was that? WBA Boxing and Blunts?
AA.
So AA Boxing
sorry,
and Blunts, like Alcoholic Anonymous kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blunts.
And Blunts. Yeah.
Boxing and Blunts. You'll just see a picture of a frog. He makes satire videos. He's funny as fuck.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet.
That's us for today. Thank you everybody in the chat for turning up. Wouldn't be the same without you. Everybody who came and dropped in. Always a pleasure chatting to y'all. And we will catch you all next time. So this is Big Boys Boxing. And we out. See you.
Peace.